It is yet again time for another riveting game of SoloHammer Space Marines versus the Dark Eldar Warhammer 40k 3rd edition. So this was a requested game of Space Marines versus Eldar. They wanted to see how a Dreadnought and Devastator squad would deal with a Raider team. Very fast attack game today. Let's show off these little armies, shall we? For our Space Marines, we have a leader. He just has his bolt gun and his power sword. We have the Dreadnought, a Devastator squad with a heavy bolter and missile launcher, and a 10-man squad of Marines. Over on the Dark Eldar side, we have our Archon, a Raider with 10 warriors inside of it, 10 more warriors, and some Reavers. Altogether, this is 405 points. I will be using the battles special rules for this one, so I can actually have the heavy support for the Space Marine army, because this was actually a requested army. Someone really wanted to see how a Dreadnought would deal with a Raider, for some reason. Also, so this, needed to be upgraded to actually hit to 405 points, so the Archon has the Terror Facts and these poison weapons. Poison blades, whatever they're called. He wounds on 2s, I believe. Today's beverage of choice is a peach-flavored Coca-Cola. Alright, on that note, let's see who goes first. Red's for Space Marines, black is for Drukhari. Space Marines go first. Lovely. Our team of Space Marines are just trying to move up into the buildings. And with them all moved up, they will now start firing everything they have into the enemy force. First things first, we're going to have the Dreadnought fire his Stormbolter, which is underneath that arm, into the warriors. 2 shots hitting on 3s. They both hit. Strength 4 against toughness 3s, so 3 is to wound. 1 wound. The warrior has a 5-up save, and he dies. I just realized that Stormbolter has AP 5, so they don't even get their save. I don't know why I gave it to him. He's going to fire his assault cannon into that same unit. It's going to be 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. They all hit. It is a strength 6th weapon against toughness 3. So wounding on 2. Yeah. 3 just die outright, because 3 is half of 6, so it's instant death. And the assault cannon is AP 4, so it just goes right through their armor. That unit has lost more than 25% of its mass, so it needs to take a leadership test. Don't receive any negative modifier, so it's just less than 8. Okay, so how far do they fall back? 4 inches. 4 inches off the board for them. They're gone. Well, that is rather disappointing, but I mean, sometimes you fail your leadership saves. Alright, we move on to Eldar turn 1. Well, we're gonna start moving vehicles now, because that's all we have left. First things first, the Raider is just gonna speed on forward, followed closely behind by the Reavers. As well as the Archon. He'll just saunter on up. As the Raider moves forward onto the field, it's going to disgorge all of its crew, like so. And now everything is going to fire into that. To start us off, these 2 warriors wielding splinter cannons are going to fire into the Devastation squad. It is 4 attacks each, so 8 attacks hitting on 3s. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so 4 is to wound. 1 wound. 3-up save. Nope. A Marine goes down. Gimme. The remaining squad is going to fire the rest of their shots into that same unit, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 5s. Alright. 3-up save. 1 dies. When it comes to wound allocation, Do you typically do it from the closest model to the enemy, or can you just pick whatever you want? I pick whatever I want, because I want that missile launcher to fire at least once. The Reaver is going to fire their splinter rifles in that same unit. Same as before, 3s to hit. And 5s to wound. Give me that. Get. Nope. And nope. The Raider is now going to fire its Dark Lance into the Dreadnought. Hitting on 3s. It's only one shot. And it hits. The strength of the weapon is strength 8 plus 1. 9. That is a glancing hit. Let's see what we roll off for. 3. Crew stunned. The vehicle may not move or shoot the next turn. The Dreadnought cannot move and shoot. Shame. The Archon is too far out of range to actually shoot anything, and that will end their shooting phase. These Space Marines did lose 25% of their units, so they will take a leadership test. And they failed it. How far are they running? Come back here. 4 inches. Alright. With them running away, we don't want to charge. We're too squishy. Dark Eldar do not want to get into close combat. They want to shoot. Wish we had a rule where we can re-embark that same turn we disembark, but no, that's not the case. We move on to Space Marines turn 2. At the beginning of turn 2 for Space Marines, this group in the back automatically reforms because they are over 50%. If they only had 2 guys, they wouldn't be able to. And then we move on into movement. I only moved around like 5 of these guys, so 5 of them will be doing rapid fire, and 5 of them will just get their normal shots, and that will all go into the Warriors. 15 shots from the Space Marines into the Dark Eldar, hitting on 3s. Lovely. And strength 4 against toughness 3, so 3s to wound. Nice. 5 up save. Okay. 4 die. Lord is going to fire his rapid fire, his bolter into that unit. 3s to hit. 3s to wound. 5 up save. 1 more dies. And in the back is going to fire his missile launcher into the Ravager thingy. Is 1 shot hitting on 3s. That is not the mat. It hits. Strength 8 plus 2, so 10. The Raider has Fort Armor 10, so it penetrates. And let's see what we get. 3. Armament destroyed. Alright, so I can't use this Dark Lance. Damn. After the shooting phase, this unit will only take a leadership test. They should be able to do better than the last one, hopefully. Yeah, they're fine. Being said, the leader will now charge into that unit. And the fight is on. The leader may have charged, but the Eldar have a higher initiative, so hitting on 4s. Never mind. Now the leader would go hitting on 4s. 2 hits. Strength 4 against toughness 3, so 3s to wound. 1 wound. And he does have a power weapon which ignores the save, so 1 dude is just destroyed. This unit lost the combat, so they will then take a leadership test at -1. So 7. They're fine. They're strong-willed. Drukhari. They don't care about this stupid human. And that will end Space Marine's turn 2. It's time for Drukhari. Alright, to start off turn 2 for Necrons. That's another game entirely. To start off turn 2 for Drukhari, we're going to start moving stuff around. We're going to move the Reavers into the back line. They really want to get rid of that unit. The Raider, I don't know about him. His weapon was destroyed, so he's kind of useless. So I'm just going to move him wherever. For some reason, the way he's like slanted makes him look like he just drifted into that corner. And as for my lord, I'm just going to, move him up so he can charge into combat. I don't know what else to do with him. As for shooting, we're going to have the Reavers fire their splinter rifles into that unit. 3s to hit. They'll hit. And then 5s to wound. Now, well, that was unsuccessful. We're going to move on to this thing. He's going to charge into the leader. The dude with the sword. And he's actually the fastest person in that combat. So he's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Ugh. And he's got Poison Blade, so he's wounding on 2s. Haha. Can our leader save it? 3-up save. No. Oh, no. He's dead. He's just dead outright. Freeing that unit is just all gonna just consolidate. He just walked in, beat the hell out of him, and everyone else is like, yay! Let's go shoot something else. Sadly, that was their end of their turn 2. We move on to Space Marines, who have an entire army left. Yikes. Things first, the Dreadnought and the Space Marine unit is going to move up. Not their full 12 inches, so they can get their rapid fire, but enough to just get in range. And yeah, we're going to crump that. 20 attacks from the Marines into the Warriors. Hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Nice. 10 5-up saves. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Yeah, they're gone. These 2 Marines are going to fire their bolters into the Reavers, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. Wait. Nope. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. 4-up save. Alright, 1 dies. The missile launcher is going to fire his shot into the same unit, hitting on 3s. It hits. Strength 8 against toughness 4, so it's 2s to wound. Instant death. Yeah, he's gone. The Dreadnought's going to fire his shiny assault cannon into the side of the Raider, all hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Now, to get the assault cannon is strength 6. I need to see how this goes. So 6 plus 1, 7. That is a glancing hit. Alright, the first shot, glancing hit. 5. Armament destroyed. It's already been destroyed. And the other one? 1. Crew shaken. The crew may not shoot the next turn. Well, they can't shoot at all. The next weapon it has is its Stormbolter. Hitting on 3s. Okay. It needs a 6 to wound. Nothing. Before we move on to any charge phases, this unit needs to actually make a leisure attack. No minuses because it's just by itself, but 8. And it's fine. The Dreadnought's going to charge into the Raider now, because that's what we're here for. 3 attacks from the... Okay, so I just had to look at something. When you're doing close combat, you do weapon skill versus weapon skill. Raiders don't have weapon skills. So I had to go over to hits in the infantry assaulting vehicles. So it says, vehicles moving less than 6 inches previously are hit on a 4+. So, 4's to hit. 1 hit. Alright. I hit it. Now it's strength 10 plus 6. 16. Alright, let's see what we get. 4. Vehicle destroyed. The vehicle is wrecked. Yeah. No, the vehicle is just turned outside and the Dreadnought slowly turns towards the Archon. And that will actually end Space Marine's turn 3. They're done. They can't do anything more. Huh. At the beginning of Dark Eldar turn 3, their last turn, the game is tied. They got 3 points for killing the Lord, and we've got 3 points for killing everything else. Let's see how this goes. First things first, movement. We're just going to have him just scoot on over here. Why? I don't know. But he's going to fire his weapons next, because I'm not moving him. So, 2 attacks into that unit, hitting on 3s. Alright. And wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 5-up save. Alright, that Marine is fine. Okay. The dumb thing to do would have charged him into the Dreadnought. It'd be fun, but dumb. Because in a tied game, if he can't bring down that Dreadnought, he loses. Or if he cannot bring that Dreadnought down, he'll lose by 3 points because he'll get destroyed. I guess we'll just do the combat just in case. Our Archon will be going first. He has 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Nice. Now he's wounding on 2s, which he gets. Here's the thing, though. That is a Dreadnought. It's got front armor 10. Nope. It's got front armor 12. Which means his strength of 3 versus 12. So, 5, 4, and 3. These are all less than the Dreadnought's armor. So he needs to do penetrating hits. I mean, glancing hits. He gets glancing hits. So, let's see which ones of attacks goes through. Nope. Nope. And no. The Dreadnought will now slap back. The Dreadnought will need 4s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 10 against toughness 3, so 2s to wound. Instant death. The Warlord is just taken out with a smack of the head. Since Warlords are worth 3, we are up to 6 points. 6 points for Space Marines, 3 for Eldar. There's your answer, lads. The Space Marines won. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's game of SoloHammer, because that's all she wrote. As usual, I would like to thank everybody who showed up to watch the game. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Also, we've just hit 490 subscribers. We just need 10 more. 10 more absolute lads. And then I'm going to do a Q&A. So if you have any questions, type in Q&A and then a question at the end. And then I'll put them all into one video when I get to 500 subscribers. But yeah. Bye. For those of you who stayed behind for the end of the audio, here's your question of the week. What do you want for Christmas? I'm not going to get you anything, but what do you want? What is your favorite car part? And finally, what is your least favorite Elder Scrolls game? That is all. Subscribe.